Thank you, jury. You may be seated. State may call the next witness.
State calls Keuhn.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you.
Then you'll have to pull right up to the microphone and almost have your visor over the microphone.
Okay.
Would you state and then spell your name, please?
My name is Charles P. Keuhn. Charles, C-H-A-R-L-E-S. P for Paul. Last name is K-E-U-H-N. I'm a junior.
Thank you. Examine your witness.
Mr. Is it Keuhn?
Keuhn.
Keuhn. Okay. Mr. Keuhn, where do you currently reside?
I currently reside in Ocala, Florida.
Prior to moving to Florida, did you previously live in Wisconsin?
Yes, I did. In Neenah on Orchard Court.
Okay. And do you have, I guess, experience with respect to operating a canine?
Yes, I did. I had a trained search dog. I actually had multiple different dogs over the years, but the dog that I was utilizing during the period of time here that we're going to be talking about was a cross-trained dog that would search for both live people and deceased.
And what was that dog's name?
Magic.
Magic, like the, I guess.
Yeah, I was
magician?
hoping for a little magic with that.
Okay. And you said that was trained both in live scent and in
Correct.
human remains?
And land and water searches for human remains.
And what sort of, I guess, training or certification process did you go through with Magic?
Well, I did a couple of different ones. I worked through the National Association of Search and Rescue, and then I also did one through an organization called LETS. I think it was like Law Enforcement Testing Services or something like that, all I remember, LETS. And they are the ones that I maintained the water search for human remains. They're the ones that I maintained my certifications for that with.
Okay. And are those organizations that, I guess, nationally certify these types of canines?
Yes.
Okay. And what about you yourself? I guess, do you have law enforcement experience?
But during that period of time, I had no law enforcement experience. I have since become a reserve deputy, unsworn, so I don't have arrest powers or any of that, but I help Winnebago County has a search organization, and I help in that capacity. I'm an instructor for the National Association of Search and Rescue, and I've taken a large number of classes. Most of them are not canine specific, they're just general search and rescue classes. And I have taught classes at NWTC in search coordination, which is something as I got out of doing the dog work, I became more of a search coordinator.
Okay. So how long in totality have you sort of been working in this area or in terms of searches or canines?
I started in 2000, so now I've done a lot less the last couple of years. I've started to phase out, so I was really very active for close to 20 years. 2013 is the time period when you had
Magic, is that right? Sorry, is that a yes?
What was your question?
Sorry, in 2013 is the time period when you had Magic as?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Mr. Keuhn, then, were you requested to assist in a search of a quarry on June 1st and June 7th of 2013?
Yes, sir.
And where was that located?
Near Pulaski is its exact location, or what township. I think it was a mile or two away from the residence that we started searching at in, I think that's Kunis.
Okay, so you were requested to assist in the search of that quarry?
Correct.
Okay. And I guess, how did you become involved in that?
How did I become involved?
Yes.
In the search? I was contacted. We had there's a number of people in Wisconsin that do search and rescue, and a number of them had started to work together pretty consistently on a number of searches. And so I was contacted by, at different times, any one of those different groups could reach out to us to see if we would search. In that particular case, I think I was contacted at one time by people from Nicolet's search team, and another time from, I'm trying to remember the name of the other group, Rapid Search and Rescue, I think it was, contacted us.
And were these organizations that, I guess, in the context of this case, was that a volunteer basis?
Yeah, volunteer, no charge for service, no payment of any kind to anybody. Really, direct expenses that the group had were through donation, and my own personal expenses, I guess, were my donation of time and expenses.
And then apart from these searches that you volunteered to assist in, you had no other, I guess, involvement or knowledge of this sort of investigation?
No other knowledge.
Sure. So the name of your organization in 2013 was what?
I was with Headwaters Search and Rescue.
Okay. And that's the organization that assisted in this searches on June 1st and 7th?
Correct.
And of June 1st and 7th of 2013? Is that
Yes,
right?
sir.
Okay. And what areas of the quarry were you tasked with searching?
I had a boat that had been equipped and outfitted to be efficient in using search dogs. It was basically a low boat that ran pretty low to the water, and the dog could move around on the boat. So we were assigned to work on the water in that quarry with that boat.
Okay. And you said previously that sort of water-based tracking is something that yourself and K9 Magic were trained in?
Correct.
Okay. And I guess we'll start with June 1st of 2013. What sort of searches occurred on that day?
Your question was what sort of searches took place?
Yes, on June 1st of 2013?
Yeah, so we went on the water, the boat, engine-operated boat. It was, say, a little bit bigger than a rowboat or a bass fishing boat, so a fairly small boat that the dog could move around on freely. And we basically went out on the quarry, and we also would run a sonar that would help us see into the water, and occasionally there'd be things that would show up on the sonar that might interest us. We really got none of that with the sonar in this, so we would use the sonar and the canine, and the dog would basically be brought, moved around across the water in the boat to see if she discovered scent.
Okay. And were any scents indicated on that date?
No, so there's behaviors that the dog shows that says they're detecting scent, and then there's what we work real hard through our training to get is a trained indication, sometimes called a trained final response. What we're looking for is that dog to alert us to the fact that they have discovered scent. In my case, my dog was interested in the scent that was on the quarry. I could see real active searching interest in odors, but she did not give final indication to me that she had, say, discovered human remains. I got none of that.
And I guess what would be the significance of the final indication then to you?
So we take these dogs through many, many training exercises, and when they get to the source of odor, what we'll actually do is like hook up a odor generator on shore and run a hose out into the water and have the hose bubble up scent. And that dog should, for example, in my dog's case, lay down, bark at us, hey, I've got scent right here, this is the source. And the certification process involves showing that consistently that that's what your dog is going to do. So that would be a strong indication to the handler that there's the source of scent there from a human body, which I did not get.
So I guess in totality then on that June 1st, there wasn't an indication that you observed?
Correct.
Okay. And you mentioned Magic was trained in these sort of water-based searches. To what depths, I guess, could Magic detect or was trained to detect? What depths of water?
I don't know that we ever discovered anything really deep. Usually the water we did most of our training and testing in was 10, 20 feet deep type of water. But I know through talking to other trainers and working with other people in the field that dogs have detected bodies.
County Sheriff's Office,
How long have you been employed with the Brown County Sheriff's Department?
just under 16 years.
With respect to your role at the Sheriff's Department, had you been employed with a different law enforcement agency previous to that?
Yes, I was with the Sturgeon Bay Police Department for just over 3 years.
Okay. Were you employed in law enforcement anywhere before Sturgeon Bay?
Yes, I worked for the Brown County Sheriff's Office in the jail for 6 months prior to that.
Okay. So in totality, you've been a law enforcement officer for approximately 19 years?
Yes,
In the course of your duties as a law enforcement officer, do you have training and experience with respect to investigating criminal instances of conduct?
yes,
And have those included assisting your colleagues in various investigations?
yes,
Have they included investigations that include homicides?
yes,
In the course of your duties, do you also have training and experience with respect to taking items of evidence into custody?
yes,
Do you also have training and experience with regard to preparing diagrams? Mapping diagrams?
yes. One of my additional duties is I'm with the Crash Reconstruction Unit.
So the reconstruction unit?
Yes.
What is a reconstruction unit?
We go out to normally crash scenes, but we also assist investigators when requested. We go out, we use Total Station or a 3D scanner, and we map the incident scene, and then we can take that information back to our office and we can do a 3D diagram.
And so what do you mean by total station?
It's a laser measuring device. So there's two parts. There's the station, and then there's a prism pole. And what you do, it sends out a laser, and it interprets the difference, the angle between the base station and the prism, and it can determine the exact position of a point.
So are you using some kind of instrument to assist you in doing this?
Yes,
What do you use?
the total station,
What is that?
the laser measuring device.
Okay, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. For an instrument, it's a laser?
Yes,
Okay, just so we can describe for the jury how you schematically go about this. So you have some type of laser device that assists you in doing your measurements?
yes,
Okay. And is accuracy important with respect to that role?
yes it is.
Did you receive some kind of special training in order to be a part of the reconstruction team in this capacity?
Our training was in-house, so it was from more experienced members and on-the-job training.
Okay, so there was kind of some criteria in order for you to be eligible to do this?
Yes,
And do you know approximately when you learned how to do this? How long you've been working in this capacity?
approximately 11 years.
Okay. So so you, because you've been employed at the Sheriff's Department that entire time, you've been doing this at the Sheriff's Department to assist investigative officers in their investigations?
Yes, when requested.
Okay. And you indicated that you do that sometimes for reconstruction on traffic instances, but you've also been known to do it in other investigations?
Yes,
Does that include outlining and mapping a residence
yes,
and a surrounding area?
yes,
So at some point in the course of your duties at the Sheriff Department, were you asked to assist Sergeant Roman Ehrenstein in an investigation mapping a particular residence?
yes, on April 29th of 2015.
Okay, and was there another officer that assisted you with doing that?
Deputy Art Adams.
Okay, and is that another officer at the Sheriff's Department?
Yes,
Okay. And what was the area you were asked to map?
we were asked to map the inside of the residence and then also map the outside of the residence and the surrounding buildings.
And what was that residence?
The residence located at 5118 Kunis Road.
And is that located in the town of Pittsfield, Brown County, Wisconsin?
Yes,
Now, Sergeant Snover, I'm showing you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 35. Do you recognize that?
yes I do.
What is that?
That is the scale drawing of the first floor of the residence on Kunis Road.
Okay, and just so the jury knows what you mean by that, what do you mean by scaled?
It means that there's a scale here, so this distance is equal to 2 feet here. It's very accurate drawing. It's exact dimensions of the residence.
And that's, again, measured out by your laser?
Yes, inside the residence, because our total station has a large tripod and it's cumbersome inside a residence, we use a handheld laser device in the residence, take the measurements, record them, and then enter them into the CAD program to do a drawing.
So, this is Exhibit 35, right? You said that's the first floor of the Kunis Road address?
Yes,
And what is the approximate, as you're looking at that diagram, from one wall all the way across the wall of like that living room area, how far is that? Does it show?
it does not have the measurements on there. I would say it's approximately 16 feet by using the scale
Okay.
and estimating.
And that's the scale, again, you lasered out? You used your laser to determine?
We use the laser measuring device. The scale is actually in the CAD drawing program that puts that on there.
Okay. With respect to that kind of layout, though, that room, like that living room area from one side of the house all the way across the other side of the house, Would you agree that that's pretty small?
Yes,
You think approximately 16 feet?
yes, across the living room this way.
Okay. Now, I'm also showing you it's marked as State's Exhibit number 36. What is that?
That is the second floor of the residence.
Okay. And when you say second floor, based on what you recall, would that be an upstairs?
Yes.
All right. And I guess in looking at Exhibit 35, what are the rooms and the layout on that first floor?
There's a living room, a kitchen, a dining room, a den, a bedroom with a closet, and then a hallway with a full and half bathroom.
Okay. And now Exhibit number 36, you indicated that would be the upstairs then?
Yes, it says second floor.
Okay. And that would be several various rooms?
Yes, there's no labels on there. I don't know what rooms those are.
Okay. And I'm showing you Exhibit 37. What is that?
This is the basement of the residence on Kunis Road.
And what were the rooms identified there?
There was a shower and a storage area, and it was one large area with a furnace, a washer, dryer. There was appears to be a table and a sofa in there.
And I'm showing you State's Exhibit 82. What is that?
This is the survey that we did with the total station of the outside of the residence and the various buildings on that property.
And so again, this is something that you would have documented and you would have used all the training that you've learned in charting this all out or graphing it?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, we previously, thank you, and these appear to be all an accurate depiction of what you would have seen on that date?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, we had previously moved and the court admitted Exhibits 35, 36, and 37. We are now moving for the admission of Exhibit 82 as identified by the witness.
No objection, Your Honor.
82 is admitted.
We would ask that these be published to the jury.
No objection, Your Honor.
Made public.
So, Sergeant Snover, I'm showing you what's been marked as Exhibit number 35. Is this what you just identified as the first floor?
Yes, it is.
You want to try to move that now? Is it wired in for power in this area that it couldn't slide down? I see the one cord coming here for the computer, but is it hardwired that it can't be moved now?
I think we can move that.
Yeah, it looks like it's just some tape there. So if that tape can just be picked up, then we can slide it in. And at this time, you're going to show exhibits that have already been admitted, Ms. Lemkool, on here?
They have, and they've just been shown to the defense, and I know that the defendant and Attorney D'Angelo have seen them.
That's all you can do. And what's holding it there? Actually the electrical power or some?
Yes.
So if we got a extension cord tonight, we could probably get that modified for tomorrow? All right, that's as good as it gets. Maybe tonight we can actually, after we're done with today's test, we can see if it's possible to get it closer to the jurors, because I realize it's got to be difficult for you to see at that distance. And then we can always try to keep it blown up to a full size. All right, you may continue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then, Mr. Jangelo, if any time you need to come verify that it's an exhibit as represented, feel free to do so.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I think, Your Honor, I just offered to hand these to him, but he indicated he's got them pulled up on his computer.
All right.
So that was exhibit number 35. And now I'm showing you it's been marked as exhibit 36. What was this room or this area identified as?
The second floor of the residence.
And again, that's that upstairs?
Yes.
I'm also now showing exhibit 37.
Which is the basement of the residence.
And so the jury can see, I'm showing you exhibit 82, and what was this again?
This was a survey of the property and all the buildings on it.
Okay. Now, all of the documents that you prepared with respect to this investigation, did you then turn those over to Sergeant Roman Ehrenstein of your department?
I completed a report, and Deputy Adams took the measurements and created the scale drawings.
So you didn't even know who requested this, you just assisted?
No, I just assisted.
Is that common in your department, that all the various officers and investigators assist each other in investigations?
Yes.
Based upon the role and the expertise that you carry?
Yes.
Do you then conduct different tasks and then submit them into a case?
Yes.
So you were just doing what you were requested on that date?
Yes, and what I was trained to do.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Cross?
Thank you. So, officer, your sole role in this investigation was just to map out the house and the outside area, correct?
Yes.
You didn't participate in any searches or looking for any sort of evidence, correct?
No, I did not.
Okay. So the only thing you know about this case is exactly what you just testified to is here's the mapping of the 3D images that I did used on our equipment, correct?
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
No? Thank you. Your excuse? You can prepare for your next witness.
We were able to call all the witnesses, as we indicated, with respect to the situation of last week. There were people that had to shift their plans and to make it here, and several others were unavailable until tomorrow, actually. So that would be our last witness for today.
All right. All right, jurors. Remember the admonition, don't discuss the case with anyone. I know how difficult that was. I actually served on jury duty while I was a judge. And when I would go home, my wife would say, well, what happened today, dear? And so I understand the difficulty, and I'm sure you all recognize that in your lives. So again, but keep in mind that admonition, it is very important. With that, you're excused. We'll see you at 8:30 tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Anything we need to address outside the presence of the jurors?
No, I just wanted to advise the court that the state's status. I have been upfront with Attorney D'Angelo where we are. We do have kind of a packed-filled day tomorrow with a majority of our witnesses. We do believe we are on task with completing our case on Wednesday, absent something a little delayed into Thursday. So we have put the defense on notice that that's the time frame that we believe we're looking at.
All right.
I hope you're not holding me to that, but that's basically what is projected.
Fair enough. Will you have witnesses available on Thursday then, if the state's done on Wednesday?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Is there a chance of actually ending the state's case sometime during Wednesday, or you expect it to go full day of Wednesday?
We shall see. I once did a homicide in front of you and did 26 witnesses in a day. So I'm aware of how quickly we could move. I quite frankly don't know. But I do think that I will certainly let Attorney D'Angelo know, so.
Fair enough, and I appreciate the candor. Anything we need to address, Mr. D'Angelo, today?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, then we'll recess until 8:30 tomorrow morning. Thank you,
Thank you.
counsel.